Red Man Down, Clean Up on Aisle podcast.
Welcome back to Clean Up on Aisle podcast. I'm your host, Jef Harmatz, here with your other host, Adam Fligsten. Hello, Adam.
Hello, Jeff. How are you?
Oh, I'm having a weird one, man. I mean, well, we don't need to, we don't get into the day-to-day that much of the weird stuff, but my partner is out of town, which will be a factor in this tale, our story in tonight's episode, and I went out, just by myself to go read at a bar with my dog and ran into...
I'm sure you got a lot of reading done.
No, have you read at a bar before, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, but I never, not all that successfully.
I have. I'd love to go to our local watering hole, the Tiny Pony, and read in the back, take my dog and read and have a martini or whatever.
Okay.
And I got back there and I immediately ran into a colleague from the radio station who was really getting into it. And then a person who used to live in the desert who has since moved to Rome, and they were there with their dogs, and they were out. So I'm like, well, I guess I'm joining you guys. And then my colleague came back to my house, and we had some whiskey and some wine, and we just kind of kept going. And I was up way too late, and I'm extremely hungover today.
Yeah. And you also were already going to have a big rough day at work today.
I had a bad, terrible day at work, and I had somebody working on my house, so I couldn't nap or anything. So I was in the garage, which is where my office is. But I was just been working since 1 o'clock. I mean, working at 5 a.m., terrible meetings, went home and did more work from 1 till now 5.
Yeah.
So I do alleviate my hangoverness. Well, first of all, my co-host on the morning show says that I do a much better show when I'm hungover, which I don't know if that's the best thing to say.
That's interesting. I wonder if you're you don't have time to be in your head.
I'm probably, not overthinking everything. But I am going to have a little, I ran into a friend at the liquor store and I said, I'm doing a podcast and I'm going to get a 99 Courage. So this is a 99 sour apple flavor.
Sour apple. Okay.
Would you like to try some? You can have a little sip. Might as well. There's electric neon green. It looks like Slimer peed in here.
God damn. I mean, it does. It tastes like you'll taste it. It tastes like a Jolly Rancher.
Oh, yeah, that's raunchy.
Yeah. The aftertaste is not bad, just a Jolly Rancher taste.
Yeah. I don't like Jolly Ranchers, though.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't particularly. No.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where I'm at today. And so we're talking Aldi.
Yeah.
We don't need to get right into it, but we both brought Aldi stuff to drink.
Yeah.
You brought Aldi beer.
Yep.
I'm looking at the box. Tell me what this is.
It's a total ripoff of Mango Cart by Golden Road Brewery. It's called Mango Ride. It could not be more of a ripoff. And Aldi got in trouble by Nabisco. I don't know if you saw those.
I talked about it on my radio show, but this is a huge deal. Was it specifically Oreo or was it Chips Ahoy?
It was Oreo. It was all of them. It was Nutter Butter or Chips Ahoy and Oreo, and they same color. Maybe the hex code was one number away, and the same type of packaging and everything like that.
They got sued pretty good. Did you keep an eye out for that this week?
I did.
And did you see?
Yeah, I saw
changed the logo.
It looked pretty similar to me, but maybe they changed it just enough to be legally. But it looked pretty much the same to me. Yeah.
I want to talk about Golden Road really quick. It doesn't really fit into our purview. I mean, we might do more about this down the line, but Golden Road was a LA-based brewery. Did you ever go to the Golden Road Brewery on the LA River?
Sure.
Was it in Glendale?
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's right on the edge of Glendale, maybe.
And it's a really cool brewery. I went to, when I was a writer for Time Out magazine, they had they launched their LA edition and they had a big party there. That was the only time I think I've been there, but it's very brewery vibes. And they invented this thing called Mango Cart, which is a very light beer with mango juice or flavoring. You're a fan, right?
I am. I get it more than you would expect because I don't love it, but it's whatever. It's a reliable thing. If it's hot out, if it's summertime, basically I'm either going to want a Bud Light, which is the seltzer of beer, or Mango Cart. So I sometimes get the Mango Cart, but yeah.
And so the whole brewery got bought a couple of years ago, maybe like in the last 5 years. Was it by Anheuser-Busch? Maybe 8 years.
Yeah.
Was it? It might have been. I don't know if it was Anheuser-Busch or Coors or whatever. One of the big breweries bought it. I completely think that they just bought it for Mango Cart.
Yeah.
Like Mango Cart is like such a phenomenon, like such a spark of inspiration in the beer business that they just like, we'll buy the whole company just so we have Mango Cart.
Yeah. Good colors too, good branding. Good.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they still make other Golden Road beers?
Sure, of course they do.
Okay.
But that's the only one. It's like, Fat Tire or whatever. Like all these independent breweries have one beer that gets distributed everywhere.
Okay.
But they do have their own other stuff. Yeah.
There's a beer I was obsessed with, and we're not here to talk about beer, of course, but Magic Hat Brewery.
Oh, number 9.
The Magic Hat number 9, which is like, I think it was like an apricot flavor.
Yeah, it was.
Beer.
Yeah.
And we used to drink that a lot in New York. Vermont Brewery, we have a friend who used to be their merchandiser. Or I don't know, not even a merchandiser, marketer. She would go around and like get the people to sell the beer. And we couldn't find it at all when we moved to the West Coast. I went high and low looking for it, and it was very like East Coasty. But I'm surprised nobody bought Magic Hat. It's gone out of business. I'm surprised nobody bought it just for the Magic Hat number 9. It was a very unique beer.
The funny thing about that is like there was no real craft brewery at a certain point. Like that was pre the explosion of craft beer. So like that was the only, like, you could get Coors Light, you get Sam Adams, which was unusual, like special, or you get Magic Hat. So it was special because there wasn't that much competition at that point, at least widely distributed. But gone.
So I have to say, and I pay attention to what everybody's drinking and eating all the time. So I've definitely seen you with the Mango Carts quite a bit.
I know. I don't really even like it that much. Like it's not something I think about, but if it's there in front of me, I know what I'm going to get, and it's not going to be hopped out. I'm not going to need to, whatever. Yeah, I order it, but I don't even love it.
Okay. It's a nice, safe choice. Yeah. Most people have it. It's really common, at least in Southern California.
Right.
You get the NA Mango Cart a lot for when we do brunch as well.
Yeah. I don't like drinking in the morning, especially if I have stuff to do later.
I love to drink in the morning, even when I've got stuff to do. So I have one more Mango Cart memory for you. I don't drink it that much. I'm not the biggest mango guy, but I acknowledge it's like a really delicious, tasty beer. Like it's fantastic. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So I have had Mango Carts in the past, but it's not a beer I'm reaching for all the time. And I remember, do you know what the Salton Sea is?
Of course.
Can you explain it in case people don't know?
The Salton Sea is a currently mostly dried out body of water that is maybe about an hour and 15 minutes south of where we are right now in the desert, Southern California. At one point, it was fairly full of water, and it was due to kind of a weird combination of industrialization, but also it's got historical roots. Sorry, this is way bigger than
I love it. I'm here for it.
It's got historical roots that goes all the way back to the Central Valley when there was tons of water here. So it's even though it was a weird accident, it actually like was much older body of water then. But now it is drying up, and there are concentrated like chemicals, some natural, some are like, from nitrogen and stuff like that, but some are unnatural from who knows where, and it's getting worse and worse, and at some point they might be kicked up into the air, which could cause a fairly substantial environmental crisis.
Okay, I was not aware about the kicked up in the air thing, so that's fun to learn. It's kind of near Palm Springs. It's like maybe an hour from Palm Springs. Have you been to the Salton Sea?
No.
Okay.
But I've heard a lot about it.
We should go sometime.
I would love to.
We're in Joshua Tree, and it's like, it's a drive. It's not around the corner, but it's a day trip.
I would love to go.
So I went. I did Salvation Mountain, which is some maniac who made a giant, like, is it concrete or plaster? And it's painted with religious things. It's brightly colored. It's maintained. You can go climb it and wander around. It's got like tunnels and gazebos and stuff like that. And I went with a friend of ours, and we did the Salton Sea. And there's like one liquor store, in near the Salton Sea, and we went to the one liquor store and we got tall boys of Mango Cart.
Oh, okay.
And took them to the beach, which instead of sand, it's all fish bones. It looks like, it's probably fish vertebrae.
Yeah.
It's like the little thing you find in the sardine.
Yeah.
And you just are kind of crunching around on, oh, this isn't sand. And it stinks real bad. And we sat and we drank tall boys of Mango Cart in the stinkiest place I think I've ever been.
Yeah.
So that's kind of when I think of Mango Cart, I'm like, oh yeah, that stinky joint, the Salton Sea.
Not the best connotation.
Yes.
Yeah.
How are you finding Aldi's version, the Mango Ride Wheat Ale?
It's okay. I mean, we'll talk about how it connects to the rest of it. I would say it's maybe 70% as good. I would definitely get it again.
Okay.
But it wouldn't be. It was super cheap. It was
how cheap was it?
$7.99 for a 6-pack. So
what does a Mango Cart 6-pack go for?
probably like 11 or probably 12 or 13. So yeah.
All right. Wow. All right. Well, I'm gonna try one. If you'll indulge me and hand me one. Is the actual Mango Cart, is that a wheat ale as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a ripoff, 100% ripoff in every way.
Do you think it's like one of those like, so Kirkland will go and get like, oh, we just go to, I'm trying to think of a product. They go to Oreo and say, actually, can we just buy more of these and just put the Kirkland logo on it?
Yeah.
Do you think that they did that with the Mango Ride?
Absolutely not.
It tastes different enough?
It tastes very different.
Okay.
And there's no way the Golden Road would agree to that.
It is definitely, yeah, your 70% is probably the right number.
It almost tastes like a hard seltzer.
Yeah.
More than a beer.
Now, okay, before I get too deep into this beer, I'm going to finish my 99 sour apples, unless you'd like a little bit more.
No, thank you.
I find we know that Aldi and Trader Joe's is very linked, if not the same company. And when I lived near a Trader Joe's and would go to Trader Joe's a lot, you'd get the beer from Trader Joe's that was like, they only sell this at Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
And it has like
simpler times.
Exactly. It has like a weird flatness to it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like, am I describing that correctly?
Yeah.
And this has that same flatness that all of like your Omegongs and your simpler times is, all of the Trader Joe's only variety of beers. It's like,
Yeah.
do you think they're all made in the same like brewing company?
I think there's probably a super cheap way to brew that if you cared about beer, you wouldn't be doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this beer is exclusively for discount hounds,
Yeah.
which we know a lot of.
Right.
We're here to talk Aldi, right?
Yeah. So let me talk about why I proposed it.
Okay. And we have this is a concept episode too.
Yeah, this is a theme. So Aldi's come up a bunch of times in our podcast, and we are a grocery store podcast. I've only been to Aldi maybe once or twice in the past, and the last time was probably a decade ago. And Jef goes to sometimes 3 supermarkets in a day.
Unfortunately.
And he is driving by an Aldi that is, in between supermarkets that he's going to, and he's not going to it. So I was like, are we being unfair? Are we being like are our preconceptions, are our past, beliefs about this place unfair? Like, let's try to give it a fair shot, and we'll actually cook some food with it. We'll actually prepare a meal. We won't just buy some snacks or whatever, and we'll try to see if it's if we can reassess it. That was the concept. Yeah.
So, I mean, we've talked about the history of Aldi in the past on this show. If you want the full scoop, check out our episode with Hank Friedman about German grocery stores.
Right.
I mean, I don't have the research in front of me, so I don't want to. There's Aldi Nord and Aldi Süd. And they started in the 60s, and then the brothers who owned it, the Aldi brothers, split over. One wanted to sell cigarettes, one
Aldi
didn't.
Nord, the Trader Joe's wanted to sell cigarettes.
And so in the 70s, Aldi came to U.S. America and started calling it Trader Joe's. Same business model, it's probably the same products, but just Trader Joe's instead of Aldi. And then I didn't start seeing Aldi's until maybe a decade ago in California.
Yeah, but in our research, they had been since like the 80s or maybe 70s, but like really slow, much slower than Trader Joe's. Like, but they had a little bit of a mark. This current Aldi.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I didn't start to actually see them until the 2010s.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is your history with Aldi? You said you went like one time 10 years ago.
I went there once, and I was shocked back then, and we'll talk about our current experience, but I was shocked back then about how kind of gross it was. And I walked out, and there was I maybe had grabbed like 2 bags of chips or something, and I was going to do some shopping. And then at some point I just walked out and I didn't buy anything. It was just like, something's off. And, this was like, I don't know, this was like North San Diego or something. So I was like, maybe this was just a specific Aldi. I mean, but then none of our guests, including Hank Friedman, who talked about the German Aldi, have spoken positively about this Aldi.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do know particular people in the high desert who are Aldi fiends.
Okay.
I think it does, as Trader Joe's inspires like fanaticism in certain people, I think to a lesser degree Aldi does as well. And these people are people who I would call bargain hunters.
Right.
I did and I will talk about I'll start with my history with Aldi.
Yeah.
Let's go all the way back. So I didn't know what an Aldi was. I was very confused by it. It's possible I've been to an Aldi previous to this experience, but there is the first Aldi that was like convenient for me to go to so we're in Joshua Tree. And we're about 2 hours from Los Angeles, and there's like one big freeway that takes you from where we are to LA. And on the 10 freeway, closer to where we are, like near Idlewild, outside of Palm Springs, outside of the high desert, in Beaumont, they opened up like one of those super complexes that's like on every corner is like a massive complex with like grocery stores and fast food restaurants and stuff. Like, I've been struggling a lot. Like I've been marveling at this phenomenon lately, this urban development type of thing where it's just so many different shopping centers like next to each other. It's a shopping center destination, I guess. Am I explaining this right? Do you want? Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
I was in one in Riverside recently trying to get to a sushi restaurant.
Right.
But
yeah, the IKEA always has something like that around it. But anyway, yeah.
But there's this one on I think it's Beaumont and excuse me. It's right on the way home. It's super accessible from the freeway. And we were doing the drive a lot from Los Angeles to Joshua Tree. And I said, there's an Aldi. It's right off the highway. Let's pop in and see if they have interesting stuff. So I went to, that's the first Aldi I really went to. There were 2 memorable things about this Aldi. And I think we only really went 2 or 3 times. The first time we went, I was like a little underwhelmed with the thing. What is the big problem with Aldi? It's a German grocery store, and I think they have the worst selection of sausage I've ever seen in my entire life. I love sausage. I make sausage from scratch. I was like, I'm going to go to this German grocery store and like get some dope-ass bratwurst.
Sure.
The bratwurst was like, it's worse than Stater Brothers. Like in Stater Brothers, there's good bratwurst. Like it's like, they have a butcher counter with actually made sausages, and Aldi did not deliver on the German front. Like, I think my partner and I went and said, let's cook up a German feast. Let's get German stuff. Let's get like potatoes and make potato salad and sauerkraut and sausages. And it like so underwhelming.
Yeah.
And I do think we tried to buy some stuff that we couldn't have gotten locally. Maybe that's like some frozen seafood or, I don't remember exactly what we got, but we did do a dinner shop. And I will never forget. And the shopping, the conveyor belts at Aldi is its own specific weird thing. But my partner put a bottle of wine on the conveyor belt, and the herkety-jerkety conveyor belt moved in such a way that the bottle of wine tipped over and shattered, spilling wine everywhere. And I didn't know that you're not supposed to put a bottle of wine on a conveyor belt.
I guess I didn't know that either.
I think
most conveyor belts have a wall on one side.
I put a bottle of wine on the conveyor belt literally all the goddamn time.
Yeah.
But the Aldi one cannot take it. Spoiler alert, I almost broke another bottle of wine. This bottle of wine we've got here in the control room almost shattered when I was at Aldi 2 days ago. So something's up with their conveyor belt.
Yeah.
The second time I went to that Aldi, and this is gross, and I don't like to talk about this stuff, but on that long drive, I really needed to use the restroom. And I knew that they had a bathroom. And we will do an episode about grocery store bathrooms.
How did you know they had a bathroom?
So the last time we were there, I think we used it to pee.
Okay.
And I went in there and I kind of wrecked it a little bit. I wrecked the Aldi bathroom. I felt like people definitely were spotting me walking out of that bathroom.
They were pointing and laughing.
I kind of feel that way when I walk out of a bathroom after I've been in there for a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
meanwhile, literally nobody has clocked that, but I agree. I'm the same.
But it's on the way home. It's about 40 minutes from where we are, maybe 30, closer to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I got to use the bathroom. I know that this Aldi's here. And I'm sure I got something for dinner that time as well.
Okay.
When I go into a grocery store, and this was my initial reaction to it, like in Trader Joe's, if I see that you can't buy a single bell pepper, you have to buy a package of 2 or 3 bell peppers, I know that I don't want to buy that produce. Yeah. I'm like, oh, this is not going to be good, and I don't want to buy it, and fuck this.
Yeah.
And that time I was very much, I think I bought maybe some beer or something or some wine, and just consistently underwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't remember that Beaumont one being nice. I don't remember it being particularly gross. I was probably the guy going in there to use the bathroom and made it a little gross. But that was my initial take on Aldi.
Yeah.
Should we?
Well, no. Before we do that,
Yeah.
Why do you not go to this one that's literally 2 minutes from your house?
No, I would love to tell you about it. Okay. So, I've been living in the Joshua Tree High Desert area since 2018. When we moved out there, there were 2. I guess there was a Food for Less that I never went to, and that closed pretty quick after I got here. Mm-hmm. But it's been Vaughn's and Stater Brothers. They opened a grocery outlet, which you always told me I would love, and I was so skeptical, and now I'm in love with Grocery Outlet.
Yep. Well, we love this we love Grocery Outlet at this podcast.
But the Aldi opened, and everybody in the High Desert has been clamoring for a Trader Joe's. All the Trader Joe's, is it fair to call them yuppies? Is that a thing that we say in 2026?
Yeah.
It feels like a very 90s term.
Yeah.
But all of our local yuppies were like, oh, we don't want an Aldi's, we want a Trader Joe's. And they put in an Aldi's. And nobody, when I say they, nobody put it in except for the Aldi Corporation. I think Trader Joe's knows where they're going to make money, where they should open, and they did not open in the High Desert. But Aldi said, hey, we can probably make a killing here. So the location in Yucca Valley, it's an extremely strange-looking building. It's freestanding. There's nothing there before the Aldi. And it's not connected to anything. It's behind a chain pharmacy. And I'm going to show my chain pharmacy blindness. I don't know.
Walgreens.
It's Walgreens. That one's still open?
Yeah.
I cannot tell any of the chain pharmacies apart. If you put a gun to my head, I could not tell you if I was inside of a Walgreens or a Rite Aid or a Duane Reade. Or CVS. Is that the other one?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's raised up from the road, so it's not for foot traffic. And you have to navigate. So Yucca Valley is weirdly built. You have to do a lot of navigating to get to good places. But the Aldi is really tricky to get to. Yeah,
the parking lot, you have to the parking lot is way more confusing than one would expect. You have to go way past the Aldi and then turn into the parking lot, circle back, and then go a snake your way back to Aldi. So yeah, you're right.
It's bananas.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like a good place for anything.
Right.
And it used to be nothing, and it's probably better off as nothing.
Right.
I'm sure I went once or twice to check it out because, I'm a grocery store fan. And I said, this is, as I remember it, like the Beaumont one, I don't think there's really anything here for me. I was in a Dungeons and Dragons group for a while, and we'd meet, and a lot of the people in that group were big Aldi fans. So there was a lot of Aldi stuff, Aldi snacks and treats and things brought to the Dungeons and Dragons. So I've sampled a lot of that stuff. And I don't know if I ever was convinced, but some of the people in that group were like, I am all in on Aldi. I love to go there and find sandals or lawn chairs or things like that, which they do sell.
Yeah.
So I forget what the purpose of the thing was. It might have been, I know exactly what it was. Sorry, do you want to interrupt me?
No.
I went to, this is a weird way to get into it. I went to a morning show host convention in Dallas, Texas.
Yeah. Which I love the fact that exists.
I've been a couple times. And my co-host and I went to this barbecue restaurant in Dallas. And they did like kind of a leftover taco situation. Like, so it's tons of great barbecue. And they said our special today is like, we're chopping up the beef and the turkey and the pork and kind of throwing it into a taco, like all the ends that we didn't sell or that are all smoked. So I wanted to do that for my birthday.
Okay.
I think turkey sucks.
Okay.
I'm a little weird about mixing beef and chicken.
Okay.
Shout out to the McGangbang for having me have that complex.
Okay.
Do you know what the McGangbang is?
Where you put like different poultry on top of each other?
No, it was a viral sandwich from our New York days. Not specific to New York, but in that era, 2007, 2008, where you get a Big Mac and put an entire chicken sandwich inside of the Big Mac or a double cheeseburger. And I'm like, that's the most disgusting thing ever.
Yeah.
And now I really don't like to have beef and pork or beef and chicken in the same meal.
Because of that grossed you out so much that you, okay.
So I still don't do that. So I wanted to do this taco, and I think you can do duck and beef and pork together. Like those things can go together.
But not chicken.
Not chicken.
That doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
I know that doesn't. Like the duck, and even the pork, maybe the beef and the pork is a little strange, but adding the duck is just a chicken in another form.
I think duck is totally different.
I mean, yeah, sure, but not really.
Oh, I can't explain my weird picadillo about this. I've got a lot of weird hangups about chicken. Okay. I really promise you.
Do you cook chicken frequently?
I do. My partner's more the chicken roaster in our house.
Okay.
But I cook chicken, and we make chicken for my dog. But if I'm making chicken, I'm like, it's got to be my way only.
Got it.
So no chicken and beef together ever.
Okay.
And I don't like chicken and eggs together. Won't do that.
What about chicken fried steak, which is not chicken and beef, but it's a way of eating steak?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Okay.
Love it.
That's fine. Breading and beef, no problem.
Well, the breading, yeah. I'm so weird about it, and we can unpack all of this one day. But so I was like talking on the radio. I'm like, this is the dish that I want to make, but I want to do it with duck. Where does one get duck locally?
Okay.
And people called in to the radio station and said, you can get a duck at Aldi. So I returned to Aldi and I bought a duck. They do have duck, which
frozen
duck. They always have more than one, and it comes with a little nasty orange sauce pack.
I see.
Like a duck l'orange or whatever,
Oh, it's not like a Chinese American thing. It's like
I think it's more of a French thing.
Okay.
And I always discard the orange sauce, and if I could set it on fire, I would, but it just goes right into the garbage. But I've been buying ducks at Aldi. Most recently, I did a Thai duck soup. I got a bunch of ingredients from our local Asian market, Ginger Rabbit. Shout out to Macy, former guest of the podcast.
Shout out to Macy.
And I made this like incredible duck soup. And the Aldi duck is not the best duck in the world.
Yeah.
It's not organic, but it's the only duck we can get here in the high desert.
Yeah.
So
you go for just duck. Do you ever look around while you're there?
I have been looking around. So I made this Thai duck soup like a couple weekends ago. So my most recent Aldi journey was like just a few weeks ago. I grabbed the duck. It's frozen. There's no baskets at Aldi, and I absolutely hate that.
I want to talk about the
shopping carts only.
Situation.
I'm a basket guy, always, forever.
Sure.
And so I'm walking around with a frozen duck under my arm, like a football.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm in Aldi. Let's go and see what else they have. And I'm like, I'm actually sick of holding this frozen duck. Yeah. I do not want to like even shop. I know I'm not going to want anything here.
Yeah.
Let me get out of here. And also on that most recent duck experience, which is more to some problems I have with Aldi, which we can get into. The Aldi in Yucca Valley seems like, and again, I don't blame the people who work there. But it is Aldi is one of the places like a Walgreens where the manager is like, we only need like 2 people to work here. 1 person to run the register and 1 person to do literally everything else. So I've been in Aldi like in an enormous fucking line just trying to buy 1 duck. And I'm like, I get the duck and I'm there for 20 minutes to get out with the duck.
Yeah.
And it sucks. So like I made a point of going to that Aldi specifically when it opened, which I believe is 9 a.m.
Yeah.
It's pretty goddamn late for a grocery store also, by the way. But like that Saturday, a couple Saturdays ago, I'm like, okay, I'm counting down. I do not want to get stuck in line at Aldi. I'm going right at 9 o'clock. I'm getting the duck. And it was still a hang up to get out of there with a duck. No shade to the employees.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll talk about our specific experiences, but just on that, I was there in the hour before they closed. And this is, maybe if you want to know line, this is the time to go. The lady kind of creepily said, "It's only you in the store. We're open just for you," which was a little disturbing. But,
Okay, now, was it still in the posted hours?
oh, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
it was like, it closed at 9, and I was there at 8. I wasn't there right before close.
That's
but-
weird. Like, was she going to close if you weren't there? Like,
No, I
did
don't
they
know.
lock the door behind
I
you?
think she was, but she probably wanted to go home and was just broadly thinking like, "What am I doing here?" And then I was the face of that. And
Okay.
yeah.
Was she hitting on you?
No,
Okay.
no. I think she was trying to make whatever conversation she could.
Okay.
Yeah.
But no line, you say?
Absolutely no line.
All right.
I mean, so much to the point that she was doing other work. She's like, "Oh, you're actually ready to check out?" Like she was ecstatic to check me out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. I love happy people working at the place.
Ecstatic by which I mean she was so bored out of her skull that she was ecstatic to be doing something else.
That Yucca Valley Aldi is a weird location.
There was another worker who was putting like chips away, and she had like a giant like a truck that you would carry stuff on one side, and then she was putting basically, I was entirely blocked in to this aisle. I couldn't go left because there was another giant thing there. So I had to go through, and then I kind of bumped her truck with my cart, and she looked at me with daggers. Like, but I was like, literally had no. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, not happy.
I had a lot of navigation experience at the Aldi I went to. So I guess we should dig into like what is you proposed the Aldi challenge? Do we call it that?
Let's call it that now.
Okay.
I mean, it's not even much of a challenge because we gave ourselves a generous budget, but yeah, I wanted some bumpers, to keep us in track.
But you wanted to like reconsider Aldi. Like both of us have had a weird fucking experiences there, and you're like, you've been bitching this for a while. Like not this specific idea, but like we got to reconsider Aldi,
Right.
And why did you feel like it's worth reconsidering?
Okay. First of all, I am aware that, both of us are men in our 40s. We're different people than we were 20 years ago. You will go way out of your way for fancy specialty ingredients, as will I. So I'm well aware that often in this conversation, in this podcast, we talk about some fancy stuff.
Yes.
We talk about Erewhon. We talk about,
I still haven't been to Erewhon.
Yeah, fine. We talk about Whole Foods. We talk about even Trader Joe's and like whatever. So I've been in doing all this research. You see stuff about like the most affordable grocery stores and where people are shopping and stuff like that. And Aldi sometimes pops up there. So basically, that's where it's like, well, maybe they're on to something, or maybe they've gotten better, or maybe we are just sort of expecting something else out of them than they were ever meant to provide. That's basically those questions were running through my head.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think when I went to this Aldi, I definitely saw some stuff I was a little surprised by, like good looking stuff. Always heard that they're popular with their meat. I read a lot of like food blogs and websites, and they're always talking about Aldi. And like, they do have the diehards, and it's not just the budget conscious consumer, but people think the quality is great. And in the same way that you and I are passionate about like a grocery outlet, I think people are like, oh, well, Aldi's got yes, it's the knockoff Nabisco Oreos, but they're better and they're half the price.
Right.
Like, I think that could win you some fans and some love.
Right.
So what were the parameters of our Aldi
parameters
challenge?
is that we would give ourselves a budget, which I think was generous, $25.
Yes.
And we would cook a dinner. And, I was doing that because I knew like we were going to have to buy 6 onions and, extra stuff left over. But, And the goal of that was to like, what is a very realistic situation? We're not there to buy fancy bullshit. We're there to buy standard goods and try to make a decent meal and see what it's all about. That was the goal.
Yeah. We got to negotiate it a little bit on the actual price. You said should it be 20 or 30, and I think I said let's just do 25.
Mm-hmm.
And we were planning on doing this episode this week. I've had a fucking traumatic week. My partner is in Australia. Every time she leaves, I start to fall fucking apart. And I try not to. And I know that as soon as she leaves, I'm like, I'm not going to fall apart this time. I've got like stuff stacked. I've got stuff I'm ready to do. And I've had some shitty days since, like, we're recording this on a Thursday.
Yeah.
She left on a Monday.
Yeah.
Been a fucking shitty few 4 days.
Huh.
I had to go to the dentist, of course, in Palm Springs, right by the airport.
Okay.
And I was driving past, and I didn't bring a cooler. Like, every time I go to Palm Springs, which I once a week, take a cooler because I got different grocery stores, and I like to bring stuff home. And I was like, I've got my dinner figured out. I know exactly what I'm having for dinner. I drive past this Aldi, and I'm like, I've got time.
Yeah.
I'm right here. I should probably just do the Aldi challenge.
Sure.
And so that's what I did.
Okay.
On Tuesday.
So what were your first experiences upon walking in?
So first of all, where this is in Palm Springs, and I don't know if you know this complex. It's like where there's like a Lowe's in one complex on one side of the Ramon Road.
I don't.
And there's a Home Depot on the other side. And it's like just like I was saying, it's two complexes that are not connected, and they don't want you walking between the two complexes.
Right.
And so I'm at the dentist, and I'm like, I've got time to go to Aldi. So I crossed this horrible road, one of the busiest intersections in Palm Springs.
You walked.
I walked from the dentist, across the street, to the other side of the complex to go to the Aldi. And very unpleasant. I had to walk past a bunch of chain restaurants. And
Like
through a parking
Buffalo
lot.
Wild Wings.
Five Guys.
Five Guys.
They do breakfast now, by the way.
Okay.
And so I get to this Aldi, and I also was excited. Like, I took this as a sign, like, that
Right.
I'm not going to do the Yucca Valley Aldis where I've been a bunch. I'm going to try different Aldis and break out of the Yucca Valley. We would have two different Aldis to compare to.
Sure.
So I popped over to this Aldi's. Immediately, I cannot figure out the quarter in the cart thing. We got to explain. I mean, I can't explain why they do the quarter in the cart thing. And we will talk shopping carts one day. I am passionate about shopping carts, unfortunately. It is, I'm assuming, and maybe you know, it's a mechanism to keep people from leaving all these shopping carts like all over town.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's a very European thing. I think that they're trying to bring a little slice of Europe over to the U.S.
Okay.
And they justify it by saying, like, you know, oh, well, people are being responsible. People are returning their carts where they belong, and they get their money. You put a quarter in, and then when you return it, you get your quarter back.
The quarter like unlocks, like they're all it's like one chains to the next one. Like one's got an in and an out, and then they like chain together when you push them together.
Yeah. And
once they're relocked, once like the locking mechanism is back in the long line of grocery carts, you can pull your quarter out. So it's like a deposit.
Right.
And grocery stores, in some ways, a blight on society, according to some people, not to everybody. But this is a way for them to keep track of their grocery carts,
Right.
and make sure they get returned.
Right.
Incentivize anything that people should do.
Right.
And so I was on one end of this one complex across the street from another complex. And all right, part of my week, it's, what's today? It's February 4th, February 5th.
5th, yeah.
My partner left on the 2nd. Sunday was the 1st. I realized on Tuesday that my debit card expired.
Okay.
It expired January of 2026.
Right.
So I had no debit card. So I have no cash. And that has been causing me problems. And I said, I have to go to Aldi. They don't have hand baskets.
Right.
And if I don't have a quarter, I'm going to be carrying around armfuls of junk.
Right.
So I had to spend, on a tight timeline, I was late to my next appointment because of this. I had to dig through my car to say, please let there be a quarter in my goddamn car on the floor of my car. And I ripped my car open and I found a quarter.
Which is such a goddamn frustrating thing. Like that is a barrier to entry to you spending money at this establishment.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I did find the quarter. By the time when I got there, I don't think the operation is as smooth as they seem to think it is over there at Aldi. The first card I tried to put the quarter into the slot, it didn't quite go. And I said, is this human error or like maybe this one's broken? So I went to the next one, which was all mangled, but it did accept the quarter. I've seen in our local social media people getting into fights over the quarter situation at Aldi.
Interesting.
Where I think it's, people who don't have that quarter saying, like, waiting outside of the Aldi and saying, like, hey, can I get that card? I really need this shopping cart.
Yeah.
And somebody was, like, posting, like, no, go get your own damn quarter. And I'm like, don't, it creates a weird aftermarket economy. And spoiler alert, when I was leaving, there was a lady standing between me and where you put the card back in, holding a quarter and saying, can I have your card? And she gave me a quarter. And I'm like, this is way too complicated.
Yeah. So I didn't even know. I mean, in hindsight, I've heard about it, but I walked in and it was dark and there was nobody there and they were all locked up. I was like, oh, fuck, the carts are locked up. I'm there right before.
You had no idea about the quarter thing?
No idea.
Okay.
So then I went inside. I was looking for a handbasket. No handbasket.
You are not allowed to have a handbasket at Aldi.
So then I saw a shopping cart that was like by a register and I went to grab that and the lady was like, oh, you cannot touch those shopping carts. Do you need a quarter? You can borrow a quarter. And I said, sure, yes. And then I didn't even really understand when she was saying that. She gave me a quarter, so then I put it in and I got a card.
Did you give her the quarter back?
No.
Oh my gosh! So you got a big discount.
I walked away. I just left it. In the thing. I figured whoever might find this will need it more than me.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think look. I appreciate the thought. Maybe when Aldi was around in 1996. Everybody's got quarters. We got your little coin purse. People don't really have quarters so much these days. Right. I'm actually like I'm the most quarter heavy I've ever been. I can explain it. It's weird. I've been trying to drink a little bit less. And part of that is I'm not keeping booze in the house. I'm not abstaining from booze. But that means I will treat myself to $1.99, whether it be sour apple or passion fruit, the best one, or peppermint. And they cost anywhere between $1.50 and $1.25. So I've got a lot of quarters and I'm using a lot of cash.
Right.
And at the most quartered up time in my life, I still got flummoxed by the Aldi quarter shopping cart dispenser.
Right. It was a mess. Even though I got a free quarter, it was a total, and I was just a confused guy. Yeah.
And there's no signs really explaining it, are there?
Afterward, I saw it was like there's some like almost looks like propaganda. It was like be kind to the earth, like circulate. It's like some weird. No, it was not clear for sure, and it was way back in the back. So yeah,
I will say and again, not to get too deep down the shopping cart rabbit hole, which I could. I have been thwarted many more times by the shopping carts that just stop working outside of a certain perimeter. So if I had to choose the quarter one versus the shopping cart perimeter one, I guess I would choose the quarter one.
Sure.
But just have a fucking handbasket. That's what I want. That's truly what I want.
Yeah.
So aside from your quarter thing, how was your Aldi's experience?
So I walked in and I know it was the end of the day. It was a fucking mess. It was a mess. Like there was produce and like they were all their boxes like strewn about, but not being like we're in the middle of a project cleaning. It was just like this is the current state of the store. And the produce looked awful. It hit me immediately like, oh, this place might actually be terrible. Like I wanted to reassess this in a positive way, but the way the produce looked and the way like this is the first 10 seconds of me there, I was like, whoa, this place sucks. So that was my walking in experience.
When my experience, I went at, I guess it was 3:30. I was late for my 4:00 appointment and it was also messy. Like I look down and I'm like, oh, there's like garlic and onion skins everywhere. And there's like the floor is like covered in stuff.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's what do you call that? It's not like the forklift, but it's like a pallet with like a hand crank on it.
Pallet jack.
Pallet jack. There were pallet jacks in like most of the aisles. Like I struggled to navigate around the pallet jacks, and they were all unattended. And it's like, let's just get the pallet jack out and just leave it there, and people will figure it out.
Yeah.
I was really at a different hour at like probably, I don't know if 3:30 is peak hour, but it's closer to dinner, and it was full of families.
Right.
It was really crowded.
Yeah.
And it was still a fucking disaster.
Right. It felt like what people call a liminal space. In that moment, it was huge. This Aldi is huge. It's not like a Trader Joe's where the aisles are way too small. It was like gigantic. There was nobody there. Everything looked like it had been torn through, and it was just a really like unsettlingly like weird capitalism kind of failing experience that I was feeling. Yeah. So okay. What were my just general observations?
Yeah. Aside from the cleanliness, like, I mean, I think that really sums it up, calling it a liminal space, to be honest with you. Like, I've been to that Aldi and I totally get it. And like, I think being in a grocery store alone in general, like when it's like too early, like when I was catering for photo shoots and I had to go by like my last call before I'd go out into the desert and cook for people. You go to the grocery store at like 5 a.m, 6:30 in the morning. It's like, oh, it's weird. It's like unnatural light. It's dark outside. Yeah. There's nobody in here. There's like, one cashier, and it's usually the 15 items or less at a proper grocery store. And it fucking feels weird.
Yeah.
This one was super crowded, and I was terrified because when I walked in, my complaint about the Yucca Valley one, that they only have one checkout person.
Okay.
This one only had one checkout person, and there was an enormous line.
Fuck.
And it was full. It was totally full of families, like kids running around. Like, this is the most kid-packed grocery store I think I've ever been in.
Okay.
Like, floor space to amount of kids that were there, it was nonstop kids.
Yeah.
I almost like bumped into kids. Like, kids were all over me. And I walked in and I'm like, there's one checkout guy and I have a place to be in 25 minutes. Mm-hmm. Am I going to be able to get out of here in a reasonable amount of time? And I was late for my 4:00 appointment, but by the time I checked out, they did split it. They did put another person on the register, so it did move a little faster, but it was still like not ideal. So I was like panicked and overwhelmed. It was like Palm Springs. There was a lot of old people, a lot of families picking up their kids from school. Super crowded, difficult to navigate. The pallet jacks did not make it any easier.
Right.
So I really put a lot of thought into this. Like, before I went to the Aldi, I was like, we're trying to assess this grocery store in a realistic way. Is it fair to go at 3:30 in the afternoon? Like, when is the time that you should give the grocery store like the best like chance to shine? And it was not shining at this one.
Right.
There was a lot of empty shelves. There was a lot of I was very confused by a lot of the things.
Yeah.
And I went in not really having an idea of what I was going to do. I will confess, like, my diet's been really insane since my partner left, and it's not specifically because she's gone. I just like I've had some weird days, and like I was planning on making a salad. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I don't think I can do the salad that I wanted to do with Aldi stuff.
Right.
So I totally pivoted.
Yeah.
I did take a look at their meat section, like their steaks. They had really good looking steaks. I have to admit, the red meat looked fantastic, but they was like, I would say 25% of the shelf was full. It was mostly empty. It looked like it had been picked over pretty nicely and not been restocked at any point.
Right.
I looked at the sausages. The thing that I ended up making would have actually really benefited from a fun, interesting sausage.
Yeah.
And they're for a German fucking grocery store. Have a goddamn sausage. Have a good sausage. They've only bad sausages.
Yeah.
Some of the worst sausages I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Even if they had a bratwurst, they had no bratwurst. I would have that really infuriated.
Yeah.
So should I tell you what I decided to make?
Yeah.
I got my list.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So the thing that really spoke to me was I don't think normal grocery stores have this. I bought this at Trader Joe's, and you see this at specialty grocery stores. I don't think it's something that you come across at a Stater Brothers, at a Vons, at a Safeway, at a C-Town. Like, it's very unique to the Trader Joe's Aldi experience, I guess. It's a bag of frozen mixed seafood.
Okay.
Is that not what you were expecting?
No. No. Like, what fishes are are in there?
So it's called seafood mix. I did take a photo of it, actually. I took a lot of photos at this Aldi.
You got to tell me all the fishes.
Okay, let me bring up this photo. It is, here's the empty meat rack, by the way.
Yeah, that's empty as hell.
So my seafood mix, the first thing I saw, something you don't see at the grocery stores, langostino tail. Those are like kind of crawfish.
Yeah, right.
They're like little miniature lobsters.
Right.
I never see those around, and I saw that and I was like, I'm going to cook something with those.
Wait, this is separate of the seafood
Separate of the seafood medley.
Okay.
So I saw the langostinos, $13.99 for a bag. That would have wiped out a substantial chunk of my $25.
Yeah.
But I would have done it because this is a unique thing that I do not see very much at else places. Like the duck, this is a special thing maybe just to Aldi, but they were already cooked. And I do not buy meat that is already cooked. That's something else for other people to do.
Except the rotisserie chicken.
Well, that's where you're going to eat it hot. Like, that's a hot food.
Yeah, okay.
I don't buy, when I buy seafood or shrimp, I'm not buying like pre-cooked stuff. I'm not buying like a chicken breast that has like been grilled and sliced up for you already.
Right.
And it's in the cold section. So I nixed that. But next to that, I saw maybe did I not? Oh, I think I did. I just have to scroll a little bit. Here's my seafood mix. Fremont Fish Market, which I'm assuming is just an Aldi brand. A perfect blend of raw shrimp, calamari, bay scallops, and mussels.
Say it again.
A perfect blend. You have to say a perfect blend because that's what it says on the page. Of raw shrimp, calamari, bay scallops, and mussels.
Okay. So there's no actual like fish.
No, it's a seafood medley. Yeah.
Right.
There's no like halibut or tilapia.
That's what I was picturing as little slices of actual fish.
Oh, no. This is just like, I guess, shellfish.
Yeah.
And Trader Joe's has a version of this that I used to cook a lot and do a quick pasta with it.
Uh-huh.
I love seafood pasta. One of my favorite things.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, on Monday, after my partner left, I made a pasta for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I cannot do pasta 2 nights in a row.
Okay.
Out of the question. Mm-hmm. So, with that
bouillabaisse,
I did go Chiopino, actually.
Okay. What is that?
That's like a Spanish seafood stew.
Okay.
So like tomato. It's very similar to a bouillabaisse.
Okay.
Tomatoes and onions. So I'll let me run through my list.
Yeah.
So having seen that and having ruled out pasta, I said, why don't I do a fish stew? They had, while I was in the freezer section, I saw that they had Aldi brand frozen French fries.
Okay.
And I've been kind of getting into frozen French fries and making tots at home and stuff.
Okay.
I think we've talked about, like, I did a big fancy hamburger day for some friends, and like I made everything from scratch, and then I just got Ore-Ida tater tots and served those on the side. And I thought that was fun and cute.
Nothing wrong with that.
And so they only have Aldi brand French fries. Mm-hmm. So I said, let's give these a try. I'm going to make a fish stew, and I'll make French fries on the side to dip in it. So that's what I did.
Cool.
I got the restaurant-style French fries from Aldi.
Were they pre-salted and stuff?
Not to my taste. Yes, they were theoretically pre-salted and like lightly seasoned.
Yeah.
And it was a really good price for the fries. I'm looking at my thing, $2.99.
Yeah.
For like what would probably be $5 for the same amount of French fries.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good deal.
Right.
And so then I said, this is where the sausage would have come in. I would have loved to have had a sausage to like a pork style sausage and throw in there and like get everything coming together. But they only had chicken sausage or Italian sausage. And I said, neither of these are going to work for me. So I got a thing of bacon. And I didn't find it to be a particularly good price. It was $5.69 for like a pound of bacon.
Yeah.
Then I needed tomatoes. Don't buy produce at Aldi. And when you're making the soup like this or a fish stew, I always use a canned tomato anyway.
Yeah.
Ideally, you want the whole tomatoes. I'll buy crushed. Do you know the rule not to ever buy diced tomatoes?
No, I didn't know that. I did buy diced tomatoes.
There's like a, I don't know if it's a chemical or preservative that they add to diced tomatoes specifically to keep them in that diced shape.
Okay.
And
interesting.
One of my my favorite cookbook writers, J. Kenji Lopez-Alt, says like it does affect the taste. It does like keep it from breaking down in a way that you might want. So buying crushed is fine, buying whole is fine, but don't buy diced.
All right. Good to know.
And They had it mostly diced. I was looking at their thing and I'm like, diced, different varieties of diced. I found like one box of crushed tomatoes.
Okay.
So I bought the crushed tomatoes.
Box?
Like one of those like where they have like a bunch, like 12 cans in them.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
But it wasn't like they had a million varieties of diced tomatoes and only one small variety of like crushed tomatoes that were,
Yeah.
it didn't have a selection of crushed tomatoes.
Sure.
So I got bacon, I got the tomatoes, and then I said, let's get some veggies.
Uh-huh.
And we talked about the produce not being so good. I could have done a bell pepper, and I thought like, or a jalapeno or anything like that. They only had serranos. They only had a big bag that you could buy 14 serrano peppers in a bag. And I'm like, when did serrano peppers become the like default pepper that everybody has and nobody wants serrano peppers? I've never cooked with serrano peppers in a real way.
I have, and I like them okay, but I don't know. Yeah, all of a sudden they're everywhere.
It's probably an over amount of them, and I like jalapenos.
Yeah.
Anaheims are my number one favorite.
Okay.
Like bell peppers. You can only buy 3 bell peppers in a bag or whatever. It's like a long bag with 3 bell peppers on it. A sleeve of bell peppers. Looks like a damn Oreo thing. So they had a little thing of poblanos. You had a 2-pack of poblanos wrapped up in plastic in a little plastic pouch.
Okay.
And I said, okay, we'll roast some poblanos for this.
Okay.
And then I went to get an onion. Only one kind of onion.
Yeah.
Only white onions.
In a bag, like
You could buy one loose white onion.
okay.
But I like yellow onions. I think that white onion is like good for hamburgers, and that's about it.
Okay.
So I was forced to buy the white onion. And then I decided could go with some wine. So I got this bottle of Evanta Malbec from Mendoza, Argentina, 2024. And this wine was $4.95, which is a pretty good price for Malbec.
Yeah.
And I'm not a person who can tell you if this is a good Malbec or not.
Okay.
I like wine, but I don't know it well enough to say one way or the other.
But what did you like? Did you enjoy drinking this?
I don't think I drank any of it. I put it in the stew.
I see.
Okay. It's not for drinking.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay.
My colleague who was in my house last night had some of it, and I think she said it was fine. So that's what I bought, and my total was $24.46.
All right.
And I was not doing the math in my head.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just getting stuff. I wasn't even looking that conscientiously at the prices. I'm shocked I got as close as I did without going. If I went over, would you have disqualified me?
Well, no. So I did go over, but I was buying stuff that were outside of what I was going to be outside of this, because I was also just like, I don't go to grocery stores often.
So you wanted to stock the fuck up.
Yeah, but which I didn't really do. But I did buy, like, including this beer, which I didn't drink. I didn't count that. Yeah.
I only bought stuff for that one dinner. I came together well. The other things I added to it were olive oil, garlic, and paprika, salt, pepper, like seasoning and stuff like that. Some fish sauce. But it turned out really, really good, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I've been having some weird heartburn issues. I have leftovers, and I could do leftover seafood, but the mussels are worrying me. It's only been, I made it on Tuesday, it's Thursday, and I'm deciding whether I feel comfortable eating that today for dinner.
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards no. I feel bad. Would have been great to make for 2 people, but food challenge or tax write-off.
What are you going to do? Yeah, that's right. So do you feel, before we move on to what I got, do you feel like you got a good deal for what you paid?
Yes, I do. I think that the seafood medley was it was frozen, but it was hot as hell. I loved it. I love a frozen seafood mix like that, and I don't see it that often, and I think that was an excellent seafood mix. They're not always with mussels, and that definitely limits the shelf life of the leftovers in my heart.
Mussels specifically?
Yeah, something about just once you defrost them and you got them in there, I'm like, I don't really want to eat mussels.
Okay.
If it didn't have the mussels, if it was just the shrimp and squid, we make a fish stew from scratch a lot, and we'll eat that 2 days later. It's just the mussels is kind of throwing me for a loop.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know about food safety. It seems like they would be similar in terms of safety, but
I think it is safe. I did the research on this, and I believe it is safe to eat, but there's just something about it that doesn't sit right with me.
Right.
I hate to waste the food, but I think I'm going to play it safe. I've been like having some weird days, and I'm not trying to risk anything right now.
Yeah, this would be a great time to get food poisoning.
And I have leftover bacon, and I use a little of the onion in my sandwich, and I have one poblano pepper left over. So I would say yes, it felt like I would go back for the seafood medley if I thought I could get in and out reasonably.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't risk that. Like if I was buying duck another time at the local one, I would maybe pop over and get the seafood medley just and keep it in the freezer for a rainy day.
Right.
The fries were not as good as the store brand. On my radio show, we did a taste test of tater tots, a few different store brands, and the Oritas. I thought I would like the Oritas better. I think we liked the Vaughn's Safeway brand the best. It was the best seasoning. So I'll stick up for store brands when it comes to this. These needed more salt, and they were just okay. They were not the best oven fries I've had from the freezer section. But they were cheap. So if you want to get them for half price, I can see you could sacrifice a little quality for a lot of safety.
Especially if it's just salt or something, you can add your salt.
Even like there's something like I know that there's store brands and they're probably all coming from the same factory that's making the Orita stuff, but I think they season them a little differently.
Yeah.
And these just was the worst seasoning I think of any fries I've had. But they're the cheapest.
Yep.
So there you go. And that was my dinner. And
sounds good.
Yeah. So that's my assessment as well. I didn't have all of this. Like once I saw the key ingredient, the seafood medley, I didn't find everything else that I thought would have made it an awesome meal. I just made a pretty darn good meal.
Sure. All right.
What did you get?
So first of all, I want to say their vegan shit is whack.
Okay. Wow.
Like just across the board, they didn't have a vegan section. They didn't have like tofu and stuff like that. They didn't have like real basic ingredients that I rely on that really small, like grocery stores in the middle of nowhere have. And so that was number one is like, I could not find like, what is the star of my meal going to be in the first place?
You're not going to get a whole duck.
Yeah, no. And I was kind of expecting, and this is maybe on me for having preconceived notions, but I was kind of expecting there to be a Trader Joe's-ish sort of unusual but interesting ingredient that I could, be excited about and sort of plan around that. I did not find anything like that. There was no one thing that was like, oh, look at this, and a reasonable, which you see at grocery outlet all the time. But finally at the end, at the frozen section, I saw they had some vegan meatballs.
Okay.
So I was like, I guess that's going to be the thing. That'll be my thing. So I made gnocchi, and I made some homemade tomato sauce with diced tomatoes.
Which you shouldn't do.
Yeah, it was good, but now I know. And I made a big kale salad. I bought, which I almost never do, but I was trying to really try out Aldi. I bought some dressing.
Okay. I had planned my initial thought was salad as well. The problem is we have my partner left town and we've got so much kale at the house. Like I was like, I don't know if I can justify buying more kale when we've already got the kale. Yeah. And I like a steak salad, and I was like, but there's steaks you couldn't get a steak for less than $17, and I'm like, that's too much for. They're big steaks, or it was like a twofer of steaks. But I would
kill the challenge right there.
Exactly. How was the kale?
Surprisingly good.
Okay,
I
wow.
gotta say, it was a bag of kale. I buy these all the time. Generally, they taste like they're a week older than you would have wanted them to be. This Aldi one was actually one of the freshest of those pre-cut, pre-washed bags of kale I think I've ever gotten.
Wow.
This is not something I expected to say, but it was really good.
Okay.
The kale was maybe one of the best ingredients I got out of the bunch.
My partner's a bit of a snob.
Yeah.
As am I.
Yeah.
And probably you a little bit. She always says that bagged kale is for juicing.
Yeah. No, I mean, I get that, but sometimes you get really bad unbagged kale. It's
Yeah.
just wilted and
Her big thing, she gets kale from the farmer's market, and she does this whole routine that she does every Saturday morning where she rinses and washes and dries it and repacks it.
Right.
And it lasts forever, and it's super fresh and good, and it's the big leaf stuff.
yeah.
And she's like, oh, that bag stuff's just for juicing. Don't put that in the salad.
Yeah.
A little snobby, but I that's how we are in my house.
Right. It was good.
Okay.
All right. So let me read you the ingredients. Here, I'll read you from the bottom up. So I got organic, like it's basically vinaigrette dressing, $2.99. One of the pricier things. I got garlic, $1.59. I got the diced tomatoes, 95 cents, good price. I got 6 onions for $1.88, very good price. Mini.
Did you buy like a sleeve of onions?
Yeah, like a little bag.
Okay.
Yeah. Mini cucumbers, $1.96.
Was that part of your dinner?
Yeah, it was part of the. Yeah,
Okay, where does
they put it in the salad.
Oh, and for the salad, of course.
Yeah. I got a veggie broth, $1.89, very good price. Like little mini tomatoes, fresh, $2.29. I got meatless meatballs, $4.99. So those are the vegan stuff. Kale, $3.56, more than I actually remembered it being. Gnocchi, $1.89. And then for dessert, I got some strawberry fruit bars for $2.79.
Okay, I didn't even know you were going to get a dessert on there.
Yeah.
My goodness.
So and the total of that was $23.98.
Wow. Okay. That seems like a pretty good deal. Like, it seems like you did a good shop.
That's the thing is, I was so grumpy shopping, and I was just all I wanted was a ingredient to be kind of excited that felt kind of unique. Did not find that. But by the end, when I see the total, I was like, damn, that was really, I got a lot for what would have probably been $40 at a lot of other grocery stores. So 23. So yes, all right. Maybe I'm getting it as weird of the experience as I had. Maybe I'm starting to get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am interested to hear that. When you say that they didn't have like this special thing that jumped out at you, that's how I felt the first times when I was going to that Aldi in Beaumont. I'm like, oh, I came to like the special grocery store and like, where's the special stuff?
Right.
Like Trader Joe's, for better or for worse, they're going to have, some pumpkin ravioli or some lobster ravioli or like some fun like dumplings or dim sum or something like that. And it's like, you can get a little jazzed. Oh, this is so cool. Even if it's like not great or, stupid to have it in the first place. Like, oh, my speculoos cookie bar. It's chocolate with speculoos cookie. I don't know what speculoos is, but it sounds fun, and I'll try it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Aldi does not have any like eye-catching stuff.
Nothing.
But that's how they keep their prices down.
Well, I do think that that's part of it. I mean, but I went to there was an aisle that was like Aldi recommends, and I couldn't tell whether this was a discount aisle of stuff they were trying to get rid of, or if this was like their equivalent of like we're highlighting these items. And I was like, oh, maybe this is going to be where it is. Not good deals. The only thing that I truly recommend, because it was weird, was was Welch's. Welch's.
Of course, the juice people.
They made cereal, and it was a family-sized box of cereal.
Oh boy!
That if it was $1, I would have bought it, but it was $7.99.
Okay,
which is absurd amount for that.
Yeah, cereal should not. I mean, it's a big box, but cereal shouldn't cost that much.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a weird bummer. But the food turned out good.
Yeah, I mean, my sauce fucking slapped.
All right.
Like, I nailed my sauce.
Can you say what goes into the flapping sauce?
Sure. So it was onions and garlic, browned them up a little bit. Then I poured in the tomato sauce, and then I put in veggie broth, some salt, and basically just simmered it for like 2 hours at a really low temp and kept topping it off with veggie broth. It was good.
All right.
It hit.
And then the gnocchi was in there as well?
Gnocchi was good too. So I boiled that in salted water, drained it, and then at the very end I kind of fried it to get a little crisp on the outside. So that was good. The vegan meatballs, thumbs way down.
Wow.
They were terrible.
Oh my gosh.
I would never get these again.
Okay, when you say terrible, bad taste, bad texture.
Taste. They had some weird, and I I could make these things for very cheap. I know how to do this stuff. Like, I don't know how they fucked this up.
Okay.
But they just had this unnatural, like, it reminded me of like, I don't know, like when you're in school and you had the school Salisbury steak or something like that. I don't really even know how to produce, but just bad flavors.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, when you say the meat, like I think of the I think you should leave skit where he's trying to unload things from his mafia movie at the baby shower, and he says, "I've got about 100 fake plastic meatballs. They don't stink or nothing." I'm like,
yeah,
that's what I'm considering when you're describing the whack ass frozen.
Yeah,
meatballs.
they sucked. I'm surprised because I've really honestly I was expecting Spaceline just neutral, but they were bad. I haven't gotten stuff like that in a long time.
Did you use all of the meatballs in last night's dinner?
No.
Or two nights ago's
No, I
dinner?
used about half the bag.
What are you gonna do with that remaining bag?
I will eat it because I'm a person who eats shit, but I'm not looking forward to it. And maybe I'll try to sneak it into a chili or something that will mask its flavor.
Okay.
Or something like that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Dude, you're going to eat your bad, shitty vegan meatballs.
Yeah.
I feel like a brat for making the whole bag of seafood medley and throwing it out because I'm worried about the muscles.
That's a different situation. Mine is not food unsafe. Yeah.
Okay. I have a bad habit, especially when my partner's gone, of making way too much food and assuming that I will have it for leftovers. When in reality, I'm so finicky about what I eat. Like, that's why I go to the grocery store every day. It's like, I want to eat what I want to eat when I want to eat it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be beholden to the thing that I made last week or 2 days ago.
Right.
I got to eat it. I'm like, no, I want to eat what I want to fucking eat. I want to,
Yeah.
So, what are your overall thoughts on Aldi? I mean, do you think it was worth a revisit? You sound like you're maybe a little in favor of it.
I think the place sucks. I think that they're doing so many things wrong and they don't even make sense. I mean, it's way too big. They had way too many items, like too many options that were mostly shitty. So if they pared down and they just fucking try to do the knockoff Trader Joe's, I think they would be killing it. Fewer items, a few weirdo things that are kind of exciting. Smaller stores, so you don't need to pay as big of rent, and then you won't need to. Then you can actually pay someone to go gather the carts. You can pay multiple people to be on the register, and but with all that said, the price was better than I expected, and it was a decent deal, and I get that, and I think that it is occupying a place in between grocery outlet and the dollar store. And that's not a bad place to be in.
Okay.
I mean, theoretically, I think they could do it better by keeping the prices the same.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. If they had reasonable sausage, I would go back a lot more. Like, I don't understand how the German grocery store has shit sausage. It sucks. It breaks my heart. They only have the pre-cooked chicken ones or Italian sausage. Like, I looked at these steaks, and I know that you're not a meat eater. I was actually like, I've heard that they do good meat at Aldi. What little meat they had, the steaks looked fantastic. I was like, if I was in a steak mood and thought I could eat a huge piece of meat for dinner and not die from eating that, I would have bought that steak and like served it up with like, mashed potatoes or something like that. But nothing really struck my fancy. Nothing jumped out at me aside from the seafood medley and the nice looking steak. But I would go back if they had sausage, or if I get a brown onion instead of a white onion.
Yeah.
It's not like, again, you were making fun of me earlier in the episode for going to 3 grocery stores because I want what I want.
Yeah.
If I can't even get a brown onion at Aldi, it's not going to be in my rotation of places that I'm going to regularly.
Right.
I'll pop in for the duck, and I really thought about making the duck soup for this challenge because I have all the other stuff at home, but I thought it would have been a bit of a cheat.
Yeah.
To do the thing that I've done.
Yeah.
I will make the duck soup again, probably not while my partner's away. That's too much for one man. But unfortunately, I don't think I could. I don't think I was reconvinced on Aldi's. If they had baskets, if they had sausage, if they just had brown onions, we'd be talking a different thing right now, you know? But it's just they're missing so much stuff because it seems like they just don't want to be bothered.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of. I mean they don't bag at your groceries, which is fine. As if like I don't. It's fine, but I wish I would have known that. The lady just threw I had reusable bags and she just threw them in the cart.
They do not bag. You have to go. They have a little counter where you bag yourself.
See, I didn't even see the counter.
Okay, maybe they don't at the Yucca Valley.
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah,
they had one. I mean, it's like a long changing table at the front of the Aldi, and it reminds me of changing table. And kids are playing on it like it was a changing table. I don't think I saw anybody get their diapers changed.
Right,
but I wouldn't be surprised if I'm packing up my asparagus and they're changing up a diaper in there.
I guess, I mean, clearly they're saving money on food to some degree, but I just feel like I don't know. They're making a lot of money on all these decisions that they're making, which make things really inconvenient to be there. I think they're making a lot of money. They're expanding rapidly.
Yeah, I was surprised that we got one in town. Here in the high desert. I was like, huh? It was just really confusing that there was again Aldi's going in.
They have a $9 billion investment, and they're targeting growth in 31 states. They're planning on opening 180 new stores in the U.S.
Okay,
soon.
I must be working.
Yeah, I know. So one more thing I'll say real quickly. Houston Chronicle did a basket where they went to a whole bunch of supermarkets and they bought the same thing, which maybe at some point we could try to do something.
That would be a very enlightening experience.
Yeah. So they bought onions, potatoes. I don't need to read them all, but it's kind of like Thanksgiving. So cranberries, turkey, pumpkin, and whatever, a bunch of stuff. Walmart was the cheapest. Aldi was number 2 by 1 cent. Aldi beat Walmart by 1 cent. Well, by beat, it was a little more expensive.
Oh, you know what they also don't have at fucking Walmart is hand baskets.
Yeah.
They only have grocery carts.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
You're right.
The hand baskets are costing everybody money.
Yeah. So Walmart was 36. They both were 36. H-E-B was about the same price. Kroger was $2 cheaper. And then we jump all the way down, and Trader Joe's was almost $30 more expensive. I said cheaper. I've been more expensive. Kroger was more expensive. H-E-B was a little more. Trader Joe's was almost $30 more.
Wow.
And Whole Foods was $40 more.
Whole paycheck.
Yeah. But I was surprised at the Trader Joe's one. I mean, I guess because they were looking for maybe hyper-specific ingredients, because I don't think of it as super expensive.
I don't either.
I don't think of it as cheap, but I don't think of it as super expensive. Kind of. But anyway, it was more than I expected. So yeah, that's how it stacked up. Walmart, Aldi, H-E-B, Kroger, and then way above that was Trader Joe's and Whole Foods.
Do you see yourself going back to the Yucca Valley Aldi anytime soon?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's not a place that I would want to stock up on because it's so specific about things that I feel like I could get a good deal. If I happened to be there, maybe. Okay. I don't think I'd go out of my way for it. I mean, it was a good deal. I don't know. I'm on the fence. Yeah.
Okay. I'll go back just for the seafood medley and the duck, and I'll carry my 2 frozen things under my arms, and my armpits will freeze, and all of my sweat will turn into little frozen crystals and drop onto the ground and go. But that's probably it for me, and probably not going to go back for this beer. No offense.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not worth going back.
I don't want to try. I don't want to drink the beer and then drink the wines, but I don't think the wine is. I think my partner would ask me to not get that wine again if I had to guess.
One more thing I want to just mention. So back to it being a weird liminal space. I was getting shocked by static electricity in a way I have never experienced. I literally, the entire cart felt like it was hooked up to a battery. And every time I touched it, it would shock me in a pretty profound way. So I don't know what's going on with that.
That might be, I got an electrical shock. Somebody was handing me a key today and I got zapped.
Yeah.
It might be our local area having some weird electromagnetic phenomenon, but I've never been shocked by a grocery cart before.
Multiple times.
Okay, wild.
Yeah.
And then when you grab the can of tomatoes, you can see the sparks shooting out of your finger.
Yeah. It just comes towards you. Yeah, exactly. All right. That's pretty much all I got.
Okay. Well, I think that's our reconsideration of Aldi. I really loved this challenge. It came into me at a weird time, but I really had fun with it. And I will write off the mussels that I'm probably not going to eat for leftovers.
Yeah. Write them off. Business expense.
Absolutely. Well, this has been another episode of Clean Up on Aisle podcast. I'm Jef Harmatz, and thank you, Adam. Great concept for an episode.
All right.